So good day everyone. We are the group 1 and we are here to report the stem cells. And for the first subtopic of stem cells, we are about to discuss stem cell research with our reporter Chris Almer Ocampo. Please take it away.
So stem cell research, it is it usually relies on a leftover embryos from IVF clinics or laboratories. IVF meaning in vitro fertilization, as mentioned in the Biotech 6 group. Um, it is the development of sperm and egg outside a human body. Like the first picture here, it was shown in tubes. And next is revealed how to grow cells into self-perpetuating colonies. It is also known as lines, and they first isolated the bed cells from mice in 1991 and was led by Martin Evans. And however, it was phased out in 1998 as they can isolate human embryonic stem cells. And next is currently being investigated is pluripotency. And possible things to do with the embryonic stem cells. They could be grown into dopamine neurons, which can treat Parkinson's disease. And this Parkinson's disease is known for its absence or loss of dopamine neurons. And next is can be used to treat and can be used to grow new beta cells. That can be used to treat diabetes. Yung embryonic stem cells ano, pwede siyang mag-grow into insulin that regulates glucose level sa ating blood. Next, Geron. Geron is a US company which started clinical trials regarding embryonic stem cells. Um, Nagsimula sila or ang kanilang beginning ay sila ay researchers na nag-research about sa telomeres and telomerase regarding human diseases and cancer. Na nagtatry sila ng iba pang innovative treatment na later on naging vision nila para mag-research pa ng iba pa. Na in 2001, President Bush ay approved and funded their company. And embryonic cells were differentiated into wide range of tissues used to successfully treat conditions like Parkinson's, muscular dystrophy, and paralysis in animals. Nagsimula ang clinical trials nila sa mga hayop muna bago nag-proceed sa mga tao, of course. Next. Controversies. Some religious groups, cultures, countries, etc. consider this as an ethical practice. Specifically, yung Germany and Italy banned or partially banned ang embryonic stem cell research or stem cell research. Meron namang mga bansa na like United Kingdom, China, India, Japan, and Singapore na nag-support sa stem cell research using public money or public funds. Sa religious groups naman, kaya unethical dahil may misconception na ang transplant ay hindi natural. And next bullet is, there are times which embryos are only created for this purpose. Ayun nga, as said sa first slide na nakarely sila sa leftover ng nasa IVF clinics or laboratories. Merong times na purely for research kaya gumagawa sila ng embryos. And it can cause potential human lives dahil nga hindi naman 100% sure ang stem cell transplant. Like for example is yung sa leukemia patients, lalagyan sila ng stem cells sa kanilang bone marrow which is the start of which dun nagpo-produce ng red blood cells. And ang leukemia is may abnormality sa size ng nagpo-produce ng sa loob ng bone marrow, may abnormality ang size ng nagpo-produce ng red blood cells. So hindi siya 100% guarantee na lalabas ng expected outcome mo. Next. Ian Chalmers named it as Nanog. From the ancient Gaelic legend, which is the Tir Nanog, the land of eternal youth, where aging and sickness doesn't exist, dun pinangalan ang Nanog dahil they can copy themselves indefinitely and divide as if they are forever young. Tuloy-tuloy sila nagdi-divide. And next is developed into an they can develop into 220 or more cell types in an adult body. Uh, Pwede silang mag-develop into different organs like brain, liver, lungs, etc. Next. Embryonic stem cells it is called as body's master cell and can create raw tissue material. It is called the body's master cell because of its pluripotency na kayang mag-give life to different organs. Ayun nga, nabanggit ko na brain, liver, kidneys, and lungs, and marami pang iba. And the researchers see this as a great medical potential dahil nga nalaman nila ang use ng embryonic stem cell na indifferentiated sila, meaning wala pa silang tina-target na ida-develop, na they are they can copy themselves indefinitely nang walang specific organ na ida-develop. Next.
So I will take it from here. Thank you, Chris Almer. So I will begin. I will explain to you the stages of the embryonic stem cell. So at first, it begins as a zygote or a mural, they say. It begins with a sperm and the egg cell, and it is added with a transcription factor. These transcription factors are, let's say, they have the ability to control what to choose, what kind of body cell to choose. So it goes on and on as each development passes on, with the early blastocyst to the late blastocyst until to the post implantation. So Chalmers and his team gathered enough evidence that they used nanog as a tool to investigate how the pluripotent cells are regulated. So nanog, as I mentioned earlier, or maybe as Chris Hammer said earlier, that nanog is a protein. It is a transcription factor, and these things they are required in each types in each therapy that they could possibly succeed. That without these transcription factors, there will be no tissue will be made. There will be no tissue made. And because of these transcription factors, they make a finished product out of it. In the picture below, it's also said that this is the embryonic stem cell, which is the red one, that it has been combined by the OC4 and the STAT3P and the nanog. The STAT3P is more likely is the SOX2 and the FOXD3. It is combined, so that is it. So how should I conclude this? In each stages, there is a transcription factor added. At the first At the first stage, it's only added by one, and then it's two, and then it's three. So that's how a body a body tissue that is being made because of the transcription factors.
Adult stem cells. Ang adult stem cells ay ang cells na makikita sa katawan ng tao na nagre-replenish ng mga namatay na cells at nire-regenerate din nito ang mga damaged tissues. Ito rin ay tinatawag na somatic stem cells at maaari itong makita sa mga bata at matatanda. May dalawa itong bahagi. Ang self-renewal, ito ang ability to go through numerous cycles of cell division while still maintaining its undifferentiated states. Yung pangalawa naman ay multipotency or differentiative potential. Ito naman ay ability to generate progeny of several distinct cell type. Ginagamit din ang adult stem cell bilang treatment sa mga nag-employed na ng bone marrow transplant. Stem cell and cancer. This procedure can trigger gliotic cancer or teratomas, monstrous tumors that are common to fetuses that develop later in their lives. This cancer potential needed to be cleared first to be used in human treatment. So, bago daw gamitin ang stem cell bilang treatment, kailangan munang matanggal yung teratoma o yung monstrous tumor na common na sa mga fetus. Fetus pa lang, meron na sila nito, pero nag-develop lang nung pagtanda nila. Kailangan munang matanggal to para umepekto yung stem cell bilang gamot sa sakit nila. Stem cell transplant are most often used to help people with leukemia and lymphoma. Stem cell transplant for other types of cancer are being studied in clinical trials. Pinag-aaralan pa lang ito upang magamit din sa iba pang mga sakit na cancer.
So ayun, the road to therapy. Next slide please. ES cells are still not in use for treatments. Why? Because there are a lot of researchers that argues that it is highly unethical because deriving the stem cells destroys the blastocyst. Yung blastocyst po ay yung unimplanted human embryo at the 6 to 8 day of development. Dineclare na rin ni Bush, yung former president ng US, vetoed niya yung stem cell bill because you're going to take innocent life just to save another nga, 'di ba? Parang ang unethical nga naman nun. Another genetic discovery reprogramming adult tissue resulting in new kind of pluripotent stem cells. Next slide please. Induced pluripotent stem cells or iPSL modified tissues are more prepared and advantageous than ESLs. It is true. Why? Because it does not require human embryos. Ayun lang yung ano niya, hindi siya nagre-require ng human embryos. Mas maganda siya sa ES cells. And another one is it could be grown from the patient to be treated, unlikely to be rejected by the immune system. Kasi sa ES cells, there are chances that it will be rejected by our immune system. But still, however, it is still dangerous for a therapy because the use of retroviruses, yung mga retroviruses doon to generate the iPSCs as they are associated with cancer. To be more specific, retroviruses can insert their DNA anywhere in the genome and so subsequently trigger cancer-causing gene or the cancer-causing gene expression. Ayun nga, parang dangerous pa rin siya kasi tinitrigger niya yung ano yung cancer-causing genes or yung genome na yon para ano, kaya kailangan pa rin ng malawakang study to use this iPS cell. Next slide please. The timeline of stem cells. Next slide please. In 1981, embryonic stem cells isolated in mice by Martin Evans, which he received a Nobel Prize. Next is in in 1998. ESLs is isolated in humans naman ni Jamie Thompson. Next slide, please. As I said earlier, former President Bush announced that federal funds could be only used to study, just to study pa, kasi nga pinag-aaralan pa rin nila kung pwede nang gamitin si ESLs. Pero ayun nga, yung ESLs kasi na yun, unethical pa rin kasi yung kinukuha pa siya sa embryo, 'di ba? ESL lines already in existence, but the research on ESLs was still regarded as immoral, ayun nga, unethical by the embryo right lobby. Scientists and patient groups point out that existing lines that were grown with mouse cells are unsuitable for the transplantation. California set up their own funds for ESL research. Next slide, please. Yung study sa ESLs ay mas pinalawak pa ni Shinya Yamanaka. So, parang nagka-idea siya to produce induced pluripotent stem cells. Gaya nga na sinabi ko kanina, ayun yung mas advantageous kaysa sa stem sa embryonic stem cells, 'di ba? Kasi ayun, hindi ka nga gagamit ng human embryo, but still it is too dangerous because you can trigger the gene or the cancer causing gene. In 2007, creation of induced pluripotent stem cells in humans. Gaya kanina doon kala Martin Evans, 'di ba si Martin Evans sa mice siya ng stem cells. Dito naman si Shinya naman sa mice naman siya sa induced pluripotent, while si Yamanka and Thompson is nag-create din siya ng induced pluripotent stem cells but in humans din naman. That would be all for embryonic stem cells or sa stem cells na report namin. Thank you.